Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike and Diana, host of the 1NELife podcast, believe that most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike and Diana want you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The 1NELife podcast unites the world through art, fashion, music, and film. It inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities and creates an equal playing field for all. On the 1NELife podcast, they cover topics like building relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the 1NELife podcast to your playlist. That's the number 1NELife. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and your favorite podcast platform.
One life, live it up, 'cause you got one life. One life, live it up, 'cause you got one life. One life, live it up, 'cause you don't get.
Hi, y'all. Welcome to the 1NELife podcast. I am Mike M.I.C. Reed, and as always, I got my lovely co-host, Diana Gotti from the AV Wellbeing Coalition, doing it the Gotti way.
Hey.
We also got with us our friend from the Palmdale Playhouse, the lovely city of Palmdale. Michelle Lee's with us today. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. Super
Always.
appreciate it. Really excited to share with the community the things we have going on.
Great. But first, we're going to hear from Diana Gotti. What you got on the community news?
Hey guys, I just want to give a reminder for the AV Uplift. They are hosting a free youth golf clinic, and it's taking place June 10th, and it's available for ages 4 through 17, and it's free, guys. You know, I did my ride along this weekend with the Lancaster Sheriff Department.
How was it?
And it was really interesting.
You arrest anybody? Get to shoot anybody?
No, but you know what? Unfortunately, we did see a minor ODing at the park.
Odine?
Yeah, so
What's
they overdosed.
Why you call it Odine?
OD? I don't know.
OD or Odine?
OD.
Oh, OD. I thought you said Odine. That's why I was like, what's Odine?
My bad.
Oh.
Dang, you gotta check me.
Did they use the Narcan?
Yeah, so no, the paramedics got there on time, but that really kind of got me feeling all types of ways, being a mom to two teens, and the parents, were there and available, but I don't think they really saw that coming, and it was hard to see a mother just kind of have to go through that. So.
Right. Now, when you go on these ride-alongs and you guys go on a car, do you stay in the car or you get out too?
No, I actually got to get out, and it's a trip because we got a lot of mental health calls, and it just really made me realize, there's a lot of people that struggle in our community with mental health, and I just love the fact that we are not hesitant to talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's something that needs to be talked about. Right. And it just really opened my eyes to our community. But I did find out that anyone can come to the sheriff's station as long as you're 18, sign up and apply to, go on a ride along. I definitely recommend that. People should, if they want to see a change, be a part of the change. Allow your voice to be heard. Get involved. I got involved in this community partner class. So I definitely recommend. The next one's going to be at the Palmdale Sheriff Station. So people should get in there, get involved.
Did you get to wear a sheriff jacket or a vest?
No, I actually had a badge, and people, when we would go to calls, they would ask, "Oh, are you the mental evaluator?" I was like,
"It's like, yeah, my name is Diana Gotti."
It's like, I mean, we can talk about, what's going on, but can't diagnose you. But it was really interesting, to see. We did do an arson call.
Well, you can say, yes, my name is Diana Gotti, CAPP.
Okay, right. I don't think that's what they wanted, though. They really needed some other type of help, but
right.
Yeah.
What is the community class?
It's at the sheriff. It's just, I think it's like a civilian partner program. And it's like about 6 weeks, and it's actually pretty neat. We got to see 2 type of dogs, homicide and arson. And then we're going to do mental health next week, and we're going to go to the jail, and I'm going to get to shoot a gun under pressure. So, and then after that, I get my certificate and we get to have cake.
What's the certificate?
I guess it's just acknowledgement of participation with the sheriff's department. I call it my cool badge.
Your cool badge.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to know, especially if you're, in a situation. It's good to be on the sheriff's good side.
So it's It's a 6-week course.
Yeah, it's a 6-week course. So I'm really interested to see what's going on with the mental health. We did, Special Victims Unit 2 weeks ago. And that was a question I asked the detective. I said, out of a lot of the things that you see, I mean, the normal person, would probably break or just freak out or have an anxiety. Right. And I go, how do you turn off? Like, how do you take care of your well-being? And his answer was like, I have a good sense of humor. Like, I'm able to still look at it from, the other end, from a positive, or have, just a good sense of humor.
But I'm pretty sure some things they just can't turn off, because there's a lot of ugly stuff that goes on out there, and it's kind of hard.
Well, yeah. Well, one of the officers that I was riding along with said, I want to go home and just not think about this. He goes, but it's hard because we have our guns with us, and we're always on alert. And if something happens and we're present, like, we're obligated also to, respond. I shouldn't say obligated, but it's the right thing to do. Right.
But even as citizens, I mean, it is kind of the law. Like, if certain things happen, you're supposed to notify the police or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we actually we had the workshop or the class with the arson, and they were talking about fireworks. 4th of July is around the corner, and they were talking about how that's where they see the highest accidents for children, blowing up fingers or their faces, or cutting up like, what are the M80s? Yep. And
the cherry bombs.
Yep, exactly. And what I didn't know is that there's this, a certain, I guess, powder that, like heat or certain pressure just sets them off. And that's why people, end up getting like hurt. And I didn't know that. He goes, I'd rather be like in a room full of like other types of explosives than those fireworks. People don't realize that.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what any bomb, depending on how the bomb was made. Like, that's why you see, like, even on television, you see them being real careful with bombs, like holding it carefully, like anything can set it off.
Right.
Really, like, especially if it's unstable.
Exactly. So sorry, my daughter's been having a toothache. Oh, yeah.
But definitely so grateful for all of the personnel that works for the LASD. Like, it is not an easy job. Like, it's definitely not a job that I could do. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for the service that they provide to keep the community safe. And oftentimes the deputies that I speak with, just by the nature of my work, they go into this field because they actually genuinely want to help people. Right. Yeah. And so there is this automatic thing, though, that kind of happens when, you're driving and you see, like, a police car. I think a lot of people get anxious. And so it's interesting how they kind of have to go through the world, and just all first responders to, I know a lot of agencies have things in place to make sure that if they do experience things, they have resources. But
especially, like, the ones that have families, because they see it every day, right? So I'm pretty sure they're way overprotective, But I mean, it's natural, and a natural human reaction, because they see more than what we see.
Oh yeah.
Even though we're protective of our own kids, but imagine being in law enforcement like that and what they see, and they like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I was supposed to go on a Friday, and I switched it for a Monday. And I thought to myself, it should be a little bit more mellow. I was a little bit nervous because I mean, it's pretty active, I think, in our community. So I didn't want to get into anything too crazy. But for a Monday, the things that I saw, that was enough for me. And they said that this, it was just quiet, or they're like, we're sorry that it was a boring ride along. I was like, boring.
Wait, how many hours was you there?
I was there from 2:30 to midnight.
Oh, full 8 hours.
Oh yeah, I did a whole shift with them.
Oh, I thought it was just a couple of hours. You
Oh
did a
no,
whole shift.
I did a whole shift.
Oh,
How
wow.
many people were in the vehicle with you?
It was at first it was myself and another officer, and then we went to a call where he had to drive a child down to the children's hospital. So I could I then went to with another officer, but he was like, I would take you with me, but it would probably be a little bit boring and it would take the whole experience away. Right. In my mind, I was like, I kind of wanted to go with him and follow it through to see what happened. And the way he did react to the child and made the child feel safe, I just applauded, because he is also a father and has a family.
Right.
And that's where I was saying, like, how do you just, my God, do what you do. And I even like gave him a hug and I was like, thank you for doing what you do.
Right.
I don't think we say it enough. They are at like 50% understaffed, and retention is really a big thing that they're dealing with. He says some officers come on wanting to do this and then are called, motherfuckers like every hour on the hour, for like 3 days straight. And they're just like, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
So.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
And if you can't answer it, it's fine because it might be like secret or confidential. Did you get any free food?
No, I didn't. No, we
Is
actually.
that true that they
No.
get okay.
No, we did stop to grab, of course, something. And I thought it was neat that they were looking for family owned and like veteran. They support veterans, so I thought that was kind of cool. We could have gone to McDonald's, but
that's
it was
cool.
kind of neat that they try to do that. But I have mad respect for them. Their job, and like they say, people might hate us or feel some type of way, but this is still a job, and someone has to do it.
Right.
Yes.
And they're the ones that sign up and are out there
And literally put their life at risk to make sure that the community is safe.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
That's
I felt cool.
That's good.
rolling with
I
them.
want to do I think I have to wait till after I do the CAP class.
Yeah.
I can't be taking 2 courses.
Do I hear that you might want to like go into law enforcement?
Oh hell no!
This is it.
I am
She's like,
not.
I'm still a gangster.
You know what I'm saying? Girl, I'm a Gotti. You know what I'm saying? I was telling my husband, I said, we should have named our dog John. Because our last name is Gotti. John Gotti.
That is dope.
You know what I'm saying?
dope.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope.
But, big ups to the sheriff department for allowing this opportunity to kind of be a bridge for our community. And I know in the CAP program, you guys were talking about relationships.
Yeah.
And that's key, to allowing our community to just kind of get out of, I think we're all like still in a languishing state here, right? People are kind of up and down and acting wild.
No, you're right. And we're going to get into that later. But first I want to get into why Michelle is here.
Hey.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you have a lot of stuff going on at the Palmdale Playhouse.
I do.
Hey.
And I have some exciting news too.
Well, hit us with it. And congratulations. I'm glad you guys opened up your Instagram finally.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
So since the last time we've been here,
You're jumping the gun.
remember
Yes.
we spoke, we finally got an Instagram.
Hey.
It is slowly, but surely
Right.
coming along. But that's very exciting because we definitely are going to try to build a social media team and bring some of them to the social media workshop that's happening next week on Tuesday at Pretty Little Poppy.
Oh,
Okay.
with Refi?
Yes.
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 And what's up, AV?
Yeah, so we're going to bring a couple of the employees that are going to be helping with this project
wow.
on there. And so it should be good. But thank you so much because, we got that. We also, last time when I was talking about our partnership with the Music Center of Los Angeles and the incredible opportunity that we were partnering on for their the program where they bring artists so that we can offer, or entertainers, so that we can offer programming for free at no cost
Right.
to the community. they pay the entertainers, but it's at no cost to the city. And that's how we're able to reduce the barrier of having to recover the cost. Yeah. And so we got exciting news that the Playhouse has been approved to do that again next year.
Oh, next year.
Yes. So, well, not next year, but like our next season. Starting in September. And then in addition to that, we're also going to have 5 cultural dance groups at Kaleidoscope Music Festival.
Oh, that was so much fun.
And it's all different culturals. Los Angeles County is so rich with culture and arts. Yeah. And this program is phenomenal, and that we're able to have it here in the Antelope Valley and offer it at no cost to the community. So we're really excited about that. And one of the last times I was here, I believe I was with Ashley.
Yeah.
And we were talking, she had art for Black History Month, and we also had a show, which you all came and supported. Thank you so much, that the Music Center provided. And someone at her art reception, a few people had come over to me and said, you know, I love that you're doing something for Black History Month. We got such good feedback on that, so we're definitely going to do that again and put a call out for maybe like more artists, so that like more people in the community can also, and it'll be more of like a collaborative like art exhibit. And I also had several people say that they were wondering, are we going to do something for National Hispanic Heritage Month? So yes, we are.
September, right?
Yes. So we're adding that. So we definitely love when people give us their feedback, and we will listen and try to include like whatever people want. Right. And the Music Center, we're working with them too. So Mexican Independence Day is on September 16th. So we're working to try to put together a show for that. A lot of them are already booked that we were trying to have, but we'll still have a show, and it'll be free to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So actually, it's also El Salvador's National or Independence Day as well. On September 14th or 5th, something like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
so we'll celebrate that too. And so what I really want to get into, I just wanted to share that with you because it kind of feels full circle, because you both were there to support like the very beginning stages of this, and came out to Ashley's art exhibit. And I believe by you all coming out, it really made people feel empowered to be able to share what they want to see at the Playhouse. And I love that. And anything people want to share, we want to provide programming for everybody in the community.
Beautiful.
So I'll tell you about what we have going on at the Playhouse. Then we got a lot of ways to keep people busy in the summer, not just at the Playhouse, the Palmdale Amphitheater, and at all of our parks and community centers throughout Palmdale. So tomorrow, the Antelope Valley Children's Choir has an I Love the 80s concert.
Oh.
It's really fun. I don't want to give away like some of the beautiful performances that they're doing, but one literally gave me goosebumps. It's so beautiful. We still do have a few tickets left for that one. This is such a great program because for our classes that take place, dance classes, the choir with Antelope Valley Children's Choir and West Coast Classical, as part of their classes, so you can go there, you take a class, and you picture most recreation classes, you go, you take a class maybe in a community center somewhere or like a park building, taking your dance class, and then maybe your performance is on like a makeshift stage or on the ground. These youth and adults as well, whoever's in the class, but they get to perform in a space that's the Palmdale Playhouse, so it's really special. So that's what this show is it's their spring show from those classes. And then after that, in June, we have West Coast Classical. They are doing 2 different things, and we do still have tickets, a few left for these as well. The first one they're doing is Thursday, June 1st. It's a little night of music.
Oh, how fun.
And then on June 2nd...
That's all classical? Was that?
Yes. West Coast Classical is...
strings.
It's strings. This particular one is their pop, jazz, and classic music. Ooh. But if you go to our Instagram for May the 4th Be With You, we posted their tribute to John Williams, the music that they played.
Oh, yeah, that was so
It was like amazing because they had...
The Lifesavers.
Check it out. Yeah, they had the Lifesavers come up, but they had so many musicians on the stage of all different kinds of instruments that
that
were
was so dope.
being played.
Yeah.
Extremely talented.
Yeah.
West Coast Classical, nonprofit organization, does phenomenal things for the community, because if anyone wants to take a class, even if they don't have the resources to take the class, West Coast Classical has sponsorships and scholarships, and so they make sure that people can learn music, which is such a powerful thing and such a good tool. So
this is a big not band but orchestra.
yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You see when it was like lit up.
And then within there, they also will have the Thursday is like the smaller like jazz group, and they are all incredibly talented musicians. Then the Sounds Too Beautiful, they're actually partnering with the choir, the Sunday night.
Singers.
Yes, thank you. The Sunday Night Singers.
Right.
I don't know why it went out.
Are
Thank
you familiar with that?
No, I'm reading it.
Yeah,
You're
the Sunday Night Singers. Thank you. Sunday Night Singers. And so they'll have the singers with the orchestra. We have something that is like, we're in the works of trying to plan for National Silent Film Day, where both of these groups will be able to partner with someone that is an original composer and filmmaker that's going to bring their silent film. But that's not fully planned yet. But
That
hopefully in the
is
works.
so dope.
Yeah. So those, their other concerts are June 2nd and June 3rd. And then
There's so much going on in our community, guys. Let's
Yes.
get involved.
Then we have our summer theater camps. So the ages 9 to 11 is already full, but we do still have some spaces left for ages 12 to 18, or if someone is just in high school and 19, then that's okay. They just have to be in high school or just have finished high school. And so they will be doing different shows as well that are also open to the public. But for anybody that's interested in taking the summer camps, dance classes, if you go to playpalmdale.com, we have a listing of so many activities that are offered to keep people busy throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Dry Town will be opening up, Dry Town Water Park.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then we have, and they're doing glow nights. They have a bunch of other fun
We did that
activities.
last year.
How was it?
It was a lot of fun. The only thing is, I think for whatever reason that day it got a little bit cold at night, but it was so dope. It was kind of neat how the inner tube were kind of glowing. But I did highlight that it's in our community. We didn't have to get a lot of traffic, travel very far. And I mean, even the kids' friends were able to join. So
The kids don't care if it's cold.
yeah, no, they didn't care.
Yeah, the kids don't care.
Oh hell no! I mean, I did, but I mean for me, but it was still a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear it. But we have swimming lessons, we have classes, camps, and people can apply for a scholarship, for a youth scholarship. So if there is anyone that's looking at taking something, I definitely encourage them to apply for the scholarship. And that can all be found at, the classes can be found at playpalmdale.com.
Playpalmdale.com.
Yep. And then the other information for the scholarship can be found on the City of Palmdale Parks and Recreation page. So it's cityofpalmdale.org, and you can, probably the easiest way is to just search Parks and Recreation. Okay. The other thing that they're doing is the department, for the first time, is doing something where they are trying to get community feedback. They are doing let me pull up the website real quick. While I pull that up. But they are looking for as much engagement as possible for people to offer how they want to see their Parks and Rec go for the future. So it's like a
Didn't you guys
master
just
plan.
have a Parks and Rec community engagement meeting?
Yes, we had the meeting.
On
Were you
April
all there?
15th, yeah.
Yeah, were you there?
No, I missed it.
No, they're they're in the works of building a recreational center, right? Or two of them, my understanding. I think they're supposed to, I know that a few years ago they were taking surveys to see what people wanted or, to gather some information, but I never heard back.
I am not aware of any current projects on a current community center being built or like ground being broken, I definitely am aware of like surveys that happened. So it's not to say that it's not going to happen. It's just I know it's not in like a building phase. So the where people can go to share what they want. So it's the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. And so if you go to cityofpalmdale.org, and then it has the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. And at the bottom, it has a place where you can go and click on a link. And there's a map. So you can click on every single area in like Palmdale that has a park, which we have so many parks. And you can click on it and add your feedback in terms of anything that you would like to see. And they hired a consultant to do it. So definitely looking for as much feedback from the community as possible, as much as possible for that. Now I'm going to move on to what we have going on at the amphitheater this summer.
That is so much fun.
Yes, and it's such a great venue. It's such a great place to come and just have a good time with your friends and family. New this year, we're adding cabanas as an option for the concert. So you could actually get like a private cabana, and there'll be like 10 chairs in there, have some water, have kind of like your own space, and we've change the structure a little bit. So
actually, before you move on, I do want to just say thank you to the city of Palmdale. I was one of the winners for the Cinderella a play that you guys had over the Palmdale Playhouse.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it was so much fun. For a minute, I forgot that I was watching live theater. It was that good. So I definitely want to just throw that out there. If you've never seen live theater, it's something that you definitely have to experience. And they did so well. My God, I was very impressed. I was really, really impressed. And I was thankful that I was able to experience that. So
thank you so much. I love that feedback. And I'm sure the cast and crew will love hearing that as well. We partner with the Palmdale Repertory Theater, and we do a collaboration once a year. And so that was the first time of this coming back since 2019. Or they did something in 2020, but it had to like quickly. It wasn't they weren't able to see the full performances through. So very exciting, incredibly gracious, talented cast, and such a good experience for sure.
I like the little twist that they had for Cinderella. So
what do you think about the costume changes?
I loved how they pulled like a string and then the dress change. I was like in all awe. I thought that was so dope. So,
who did you bring with you?
My husband Brian.
Did he like it?
Yeah. Oh no, we were both like little kids, so I enjoyed it.
I love that.
I missed it.
Thank you.
I love hearing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So the amphitheater, we have right now, there's tickets available for the fireworks celebration, which takes place on Saturday, July 1st. So that one is definitely expected to sell out. And there's going to be a cover band, the Platinum Groove, and then there'll be fireworks. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then for our concert, July 8th, we have Brian McKnight.
Wow.
And then August 5th, we have Collective Soul. And then August 19th, we have Gary Allen. Then we have family movie nights. These are a lot of fun, especially for families. It's a great experience, or if you have people that are visiting you from out of town that have kids. It's a nice way to just go enjoy a Friday night. And outdoor movies are such a unique experience. It's definitely very different than, watching Netflix and chill or something. It's a nice community experience. We'll have plenty of ways to keep people busy while they are waiting for the movie to start. So we have July 7th, Turning Red, July 21st, Puss in Boots, August 4th, Sing 2, and August 18th, Super Pets. So that's what we have going on at the amphitheater. And the last thing for the amphitheater.
Are pets welcome for the movie nights, do you know?
At the amphitheater, there's no pets.
No.
However, if it's a service animal, then the service animal is allowed, So for the other thing is we are still looking for some artists for our Kaleidoscope Music Festival, extended the applications for that a little bit. And there's also a poetry contest that's ending in May as part of the public art program.
I love it, dude. There's so
There's so much, yeah.
happening.
And I could go on and on, but I just
Yeah,
what
no, but
what I
this is
really
good.
like want people to know is that there's plenty of ways to like stay busy. You can check the websites. You can call us, PalmdalePlayhouse.com, PalmdaleAmphitheater.com, PlayPalmdale.com, and Palmdale Parks and Recreation. But
Yeah.
really want people to feel that we want to hear what people want in their
Right.
community, and we hear that. And when we hear that, then we're able to like make our selections based on what people want.
Right. Well,
and I
thank you
think
for
it's
that.
important.
Thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll come to any of them?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's, I mean, we were already looking at the movies. We enjoy that. When we were in Los Angeles, we used to do a lot of Park After Dark, and that was one of the highlights. Every Saturday night they had the movies. So all the kids would look forward to it, bringing our chairs. We would have popcorn or snack. You can bring your dinner and enjoy that with the family. So,
And there's also a concert series that takes place in the park. It's a little bit like smaller than the concerts that we have at the Palmdale Amphitheater, but those are also free. So those are a great thing for people to do with their families.
I like
as well.
concerts in the park.
Yeah.
me too.
I love those.
Yeah. Again, like especially when it's a cool,
Yeah.
like where kind of the Antelope Valley, it does, even though it gets really, really hot, it kind of cools down.
In the evening time it does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I tell parents. I go, the only way to get involved is checking things out, be in the know, talk to people. Look up the Palmdale webpage. But there are opportunities. Plan ahead.
Yes.
Plan ahead. So these kids are not just moping around the house. On
we
board.
have plenty of ways to keep people engaged. And what's really great about, like, say, for example, the theater camp, most of the people that participate in the theater camp, they all say it's such a great experience. They make new friends, and oftentimes these friendships last a lifetime. Like, you really make, like, strong connections with people and then help develop, like, a strong sense of confidence. So we have people that have went through the program that are now medical doctors in the community that say that going through that theater camp really helped them build up their confidence to be able to speak in front of people, to feel comfortable connecting with people. There's a lot of games that we do like in theater that really, part of theater and acting and performing is listening. Because when you're doing live theater, you have to know what people are doing. So if they miss a line, then you know that you have to...
You have to improvise.
Yeah. And you have to be...
And to pivot.
Yes, exactly. Pivot. I love that word.
I know. I got it from Diana. I
I
used
feel
that
like I
Oh,
word
heard
twice
that word
in class
today. Yeah.
Pivot.
And then we also always have the Palmdale magazine. It was coming out 3 times a year, but now it comes out 4 times a year. So.
Ooh, we were in that one, I think. Yeah. The
You say
OG
we.
cap.
Oh.
The OG cap program. Oh, that and the Green Studio, how cool. That's on the cover of it.
And you two got to go there too. I've never been there.
It was really neat experience. The green screen, remember?
Oh yeah. I gave out a certificate to the mayor and to the council.
Although you didn't, what did you say? You didn't know that they were going to be here?
I didn't know they was gonna be there.
was
I thought I was presenting a certificate to. I don't even know who I thought was presenting a certificate.
That's a big focus for the city of Palmdale right now too.
Oh, yeah,
Not
the
just the event,
fentanyl
but the
awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, again, going back to that child, it was at the skate park, and some of the friends said that they didn't know that he was kind of running around screaming. He might have taken something that they don't know what he took, and then he was consuming alcohol. You know what I mean? So that's something that was brought up. It's that fentanyl. These kids don't know. Like they're getting something from someone else, just to get a quick deal or get something cheap. But I mean, I don't know, from all the movies that I've seen, you got to know your plug. You got to know where you're getting your stuff from. And some of these kids are just consuming to consume.
No, and a lot of these kids are just not educated. 'Cause I was
Right.
actually watching a TV show, matter of fact, last night, and Queen Latifah, she was on the show, and she was explaining to her, TV child that just 2 grains of salt of fentanyl can actually be fatal. but they make these pills look like candy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're so attractive to kids, and kids are just not educated on what what's in them, what can
Right.
do to you.
Right.
And that's how we're losing our kids.
Yep. I mean, I had to have that conversation with my kids the following morning. And I said, you don't know what you're getting. Neither does your friend.
Exactly.
They think that they're getting a good deal. But
And you know what? The worst part about it is even I'm not gonna say the worst, but the people that's making these drugs, they don't even know what they're doing.
no, they don't.
So every batch, every little pill is so different. It's not like they're all the same.
Everybody wants to be the kingpin,
Yeah.
And it's killing these kids or hurting them. So knowing about all of these community activities, about the camps, programs, let's try our best to get involved. The city is investing. We know that this is a commuter's valley, but the city is willing to have this space for us.
Right.
Let's get out there.
And I just covered like a small portion of the things that the city has to offer. So I know that it is really important to the city of Palmdale that they have ways to like keep people busy. And in the Parks and Rec department, definitely strive to make sure that we provide like quality programs and opportunities for the community to come out, enjoy like the quality of life that can exist when you get to connect with your community, enjoy the parks. Even just going to the park to play on one of the playgrounds or walk around. We have so many beautiful spaces where you can really get out and enjoy what the city has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, shout out to Palmdale. Palmdale does so much, and that's why I like the city of Palmdale.
Yeah.
They do so much for the community. Like, they are really putting in that effort. Like, they're showing up. You know how we always talk about people showing up, putting in the work. They really do.
Yeah. I'm excited about that.
I love hearing that.
No, they do. I mean, that's why a lot of things I do is with the city of Palmdale. So I was gonna say unfortunate, but
Well, Lancaster's coming around. They're gonna make
you know what?
They're gonna make their pivot.
Hold on, and I'm gonna just be completely honest. I don't know anybody from the city of Lancaster. Even though I live in
That's
Lancaster
fair.
and the studio is in Lancaster, I honestly don't know any city officials. I don't know anybody from the sheriff's department. Everybody I know from the sheriff's department is all Palmdale city council members. Like, I know people on the city council member board or whatever. I mean, everybody I know is from Palmdale. I don't know anybody from Lancaster. So if anybody from Lancaster want to reach out to me, I would love to work with Lancaster. I just don't know anybody.
Yeah, we actually, the Palmdale Playhouse supported, so the MOA Cedar right here, they were having the high school art exhibit. So Palmdale Playhouse actually sponsored 3 awards too. And so I got to go and look at the art,
cool.
and Legacy Commons also helped with that. So it was really nice to collaborate with that. And I know that they are also working on like different public art things and looking at like some collaboration too. Like, there doesn't have to be, we're not rivals.
No.
Right? No, it's
Lancaster
not.
and Palmdale are not.
No, it's not.
Rivals, for
And
sure.
I mean, I try to always look at it as just the Antelope Valley. 'Cause we
Yeah.
all one big community.
Which
Yeah, we are.
encompasses which cities? Acton,
Yeah.
Lancaster, Palmdale. I think, is Lake LA unincorporated?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I think it's part of LA County.
I think they are.
I mean, we're
county.
all part of LA County,
Yeah.
but
They
there's
are LA
areas
County,
that
yeah.
are like
Yeah.
not part of the city
Yeah.
or one of the cities.
Yeah, because I know LA County does post a lot of things in Lake LA and Little Rock. Their parks are always on an option.
Like county park.
Exactly,
Yeah.
for their events and stuff like that. I know that they do.
No,
park
yeah,
in the
because
dark.
when I did a show for Parks After Dark for LA.
Yeah, that's
and-
so dope. I
And
love
LA
that.
County, and one of my shows was in Lake LA.
And it's interesting that LA County is so massive, right? It goes from Lancaster to Long Beach.
Well,
Yeah.
no, LA County is
We are LA County.
no,
Yeah.
no, I know, but what I'm saying, it goes is it, what's the farthest out? Avenue?
Rosemont?
Is it Rosemont?
Yeah, because then after that's
Yeah.
Kern County.
Yeah, after Rosemont, then it's Kern County.
Or if they're not Kern County.
Yeah, so it's Long Beach to Rosemont.
hmm
So yeah, I forgot what street that is. But yeah.
I think it's Rosemont Boulevard.
Anyways, Moving along.
Yes, yeah.
Let's
yeah.
talk about some cats.
See, look, we're on there, on the magazine. You didn't know?
I saw that. Yeah.
Hey.
Did you have a partner in there, like a group member that was like your?
No, not really. Well, yeah, but then she kind of went through like a situation, and then she didn't finish the program. I will say that I made it my business to sit next to someone new every time. So I kind of got to know a lot of people in our program.
That's what we're doing now. We're sitting next to new people. We're supposed to switch seats. Like every
yeah,
time we
I
go.
did that myself. Yeah, because I noticed that everyone would come back to the same spot, the same table.
It's been comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, we still have a couple of people that they just sit next to each other because they're friends or whatnot. And
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Although we had a bigger space when we did it, where you guys are.
I like. I don't know if he did this in the first cohort, but how when he splits us up in a group, he starts numbering people. So it's not like go break off in your
Oh
group
yeah, I
and you
think
choose
so.
your own
Yeah.
group. Like
Yeah.
I like how he's numbering people. Then he said,
And then
okay,
everyone-
all ones go over here, all twos go over here. That way you are part of a group, different group every time.
Yeah. No, Lois, he knows, the man knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I've been super impressed with.
I like calling him Lois.
No, that's a
Facilitation
girl's
of
name,
it.
right? Lois Lane.
No,
Lois
Lois
Lane?
Clark.
No,
Yes.
it ain't Lois Clark. It's Lois Lane.
Oh, my bad. Meow.
So do you comfortably just go sit next to people you don't know?
Oh, yeah.
And then you don't get like any like anxiety?
No.
Like
I love talking to complete strangers. I could talk to anyone about anything. I'll look at look at them. Something will tell me something about them, may it be like a Dodger hat or a Laker or whatever, or if I know the designer they're wearing, the color of their shoes. That's kind of what I do. I never feel actually uncomfortable talking.
No, you don't. You're very open.
how do you
I
feel
am.
like
Yeah.
when you go sit next to new people?
I love it. I love talking to people.
Yeah.
I love learning from people. I love hearing people's stories. So I
Yeah,
don't mind
me
it at all.
too. I actually sat next to a sheriff that was in our program because I wanted to know what he was about. I was like, well, if he's in here, like, what is he all about? And he's part of our sheriff department. Turns out he was one of the most down-to-earth people I've probably ever chatted with. We had a good time.
So this month, so we started our relationship topic.
Oh, yeah. I
Pillars.
talked about
one of the pillars.
Yeah, it's one of the
one
pillars.
of the PERMA method.
And the two topics that are really resonating with me over the last couple of days is when you talk about this a lot, psychological safety and loneliness. Those were the two things that really stood out to me. And today, I think, and I kind of shared this at the end. So today, at the end, we got in a little circle. And even in my little group, I kind of shared this. I think today was the first time that I realized, that I opened up about me not knowing how to love myself. Because I've always put everybody in front of me.
Yeah.
But these little activities that we were doing in the classes made me realize that, it is okay. Like, I need to learn how to love myself, even though it's a big struggle for me.
Yeah.
Because I never learned it, and I don't understand it, to be honest with you. And I see everybody else talking about how they love themselves and all this, and people always talk about it, but it's like I still don't get it because I've never done that my entire life. Like, I've always put everybody else first.
How'd you feel?
Today, honestly, when I left the class today, as I was driving over here, I felt amazing.
Yeah.
It felt good to just even talk about it.
Yeah.
I felt great, and I have a lot of friends in the class, and they all came up to me or sent me text messages afterwards, and it just felt great. Like the support, I love the support of the class because it makes you, and that's why I love the activities that we're doing too. It makes you feel comfortable to open up and talk, and obviously that's what the class is designed for, and it's working because it's making me like really tell my truth right now.
Yeah.
What intentions did you set for those like 2 questions about how you're gonna take care of yourself?
How I'm going to?
I have to look it up. Hold on. not how you're going to, but like, and are there any way, like, what kinds of things have you done to like love yourself?
To self-care.
So something you appreciate about yourself.
The one thing that my answer to that question was, I love to learn. That's what I appreciate about myself, is that I actually do love to learn. I know that life's a journey, and I'm a student of life, period. And I used to say this when I was a kid, like, I'm definitely a student of life. Like, I love to learn. So I'm appreciating that I'm giving myself that space and grace to learn and to be better.
Yeah.
And then the other one was something you can offer yourself.
Offer myself?
Yeah.
I didn't answer that question.
Oh.
I don't have an answer yet. Something I can offer myself. Because, see, I never think about me. So
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't have an answer for that. Right?
I know, you know, I struggle with that. And I think I have to start giving myself more credit. I really, we had this conversation yesterday. My husband kind of pointed out, he goes, you know, when you introduce yourself, you really don't know how to answer that question of what it is that you do. He goes, you'll try to downplay it.
I'm the same way. When people come up to me, like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer it either.
And he goes, you should tell them that you are a life coach. He goes, because that's really what you are and what you do.
Right.
And I don't see it that way because I don't give myself enough props. But I did have like an aha moment on Saturday. Like, honestly, after leaving the game, I like laughed because I told myself, you know, a lot of the things that I've experienced in life, or that things that I've done, you know, people will never be able to relate to. You know, like, we really do have a lot of opportunities. I really do a lot of things that I really feel passionate about, that I really want, or are unique experiences. But I don't give myself enough props.
But do you think that's from us being givers?
I think it is, because I think to myself, like, I'm basic.
Right.
I'm just me. I'm just a normal person. But other people see me like, I guess my courage is bravery, you know. I don't know. I'm willing to open up to it. I got a text message from, I won't say her name. And she goes, you know, like, I love how you're so kind, you know, and just know that I think of you, and, you know, I'm thankful to have you in my life. And I was just like, that really like made my day, because I used to think that I'm gliding through life. Right. You know, I just exist. People don't really see me.
I'm the same way. I mean? So, you know, I get kind of, I don't know if the word is embarrassed, or I shy up real fast. And this happened today and yesterday, because, you know, today was our second on-site. Like, a few people in our class came up to me and said, hey, you know, I love your show. And it's like, I shy up when people say that. I don't know, because I feel the same way. Like, they say, I love what you're doing, like what you guys are doing over there. And I feel like I'm just doing my part. Like, it's nothing like this. I feel like this is something every human should be doing. Yeah. Right? Just being positive and, you know, helping the community. So I just feel like I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. Right? But everybody else, they're looking at it differently.
Yeah. That sounds like, the word that comes to my mind when I hear that is humble. And then I also have a few other thoughts about what you all shared. So, like, when it comes to like, what do you do? That question. I'll share something personal, if that's okay. My brother is an attorney, and he was on the East Coast. That's where he did law school. So he was practicing in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. And then in 2017, decided he was gonna like start his own firm so that he could travel and then do things like remotely. Well, now here we are, and he lives in Barcelona, Spain, and hasn't been back really to the US except to visit like a couple times. And one of the things he told me one of the last times he visited me is what he loves about like Spain and European culture is that when you meet people, you connect in different ways, and people don't even ask him what he does for a living until he is like has met with him like 5 times.
Right.
Like that doesn't even come up. They're focusing on your life. Like what he says, how he describes it, and you'll hear a lot of people say this, is like in the US, people live to work, and in Europe, a lot of people work to live. There's a lot, and there's pros and cons of everything, right? Like capitalists, there are like pros to that. So I'm not saying that like one is better than the other.
No, not at all.
But it made me think about, if you're humble, you're allowing so much space for other people, right? And there's, I don't know if you all have ever heard of someone named Kristen Neff, but she's someone that does a lot of work in the area of self-compassion, which says, like, one of the main things is, like, in order to really be truly compassionate towards other people, and you really have to start with yourself, and just has, like, a lot of different practices that you can do, but it's really difficult for people who are more of, like, the givers and people that go out of their way to help people. And I also feel like uncomfortable too. Like when I was like pursuing acting and I had an agent, they would always tell me like, you're really good at the part when you have to like perform or when you get your sides and stuff. But when they ask you about yourself, you're too humble. Try not to be so humble.
But you know what? I part of the reason why I'm like that is because earlier on in my entertainment days, I learned this from a lot of my celebrity friends, right? Like back in the day, and I don't know if they do this because I don't hang around that circle no more, but they used to always say, oh, so-and-so's asshole, so-and-so's asshole. Like if you go to a celebrity, right, and you try to talk to them, right? Like they're always standoffish, right? People always say that about any celebrity. But that's because people go up to celebrities and it's always like, oh, I love your work. It's all about them and their celebrity. It's never about them as a person, right? So by me used to hanging around celebrities, I picked up on that. So when I went out to network, I never would just go up to somebody, hey, what do you do? Like I knew they was in the industry, right? But it was always trying to get to know them. Like I approached them from a personal level and just got to know them. And then over time, like how you said, maybe the 5th or 6th time as we're talking, it's like, oh, by the way, what are you doing in the industry? Or it just come up in a general conversation. But it never start off like, oh, here's my business, I'm a blah, blah, blah. Here's my business card.
Which is so rare for LA, right?
It
like
is.
Usually it's, what do you do in the industry?
But that's why so many people say, oh, he's stuck up or they so standoffish. It's like, cause it's your approach. Get to know them on a human level first, and then it's going to happen.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you think about, like, if their product is themselves and they're trying to, like, just do that the best way that they can, I think that in the entertainment industry, it's definitely something that is, like, very challenging because some of the things you learn is that you do have to like be on or present yourself in a certain way, right? And
I get it. I get it if that's your brand. Like if you, I mean, well, everybody is their brand nowadays. But I get it. Like a Cardi B. Like that's her brand, right? She's gonna be who she is, right?
Yeah, it's a trip I remember when she first started in Love and Hip Hop. She was like one of my favorites just because she was real.
What is
she
that?
Was
Love and Hip Hop.
It was. It's
like a reality show.
It was a reality show, and I think it originated in Atlanta, right?
Atlanta did it first.
So, and I don't know. I just love people's stories, and I was so hooked to it. And then when they introduced her, she was with Stevie J.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it was just a trip, but that's her truth, and that's one thing I will.
Didn't she just do community service too, like in New York or something? But I love when people are able to be open about their own struggles in places where they are celebrities because they have such a large like following, and so I think I see a lot more people doing things like that.
No, and it's good because it's showing that they are human.
And it's such a like cutthroat business, right? That can be like so tough on so many people. And so just, I think obviously that happens in all different fields, but it's like, some of the things that people get told could like really crush you and
and that's why, and that's why if you look back and like when Prince died, when Whitney Houston died, Old Dirty Bastard when he died, DMX. when all these people died, especially like I'm just to name three: Michael Jackson, Prince, and Whitney Houston. When they all died, people couldn't understand it, right? But it's like if you understand the level of success that they had to keep, like to stay up there at the top like that, that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure. And if you're not in the business, there's no way you can understand it. But just being a regular person in entertainment, it's a lot of pressure. But if you think like people like them that are icons, like to stay up there, that's a lot of pressure. So it's like, yeah, they was on pills.
Yeah, but they went through a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Can you imagine though leaving your house, right? You want to go somewhere with your family. You want to go to Disneyland. You want to go to the beach. And as soon as you walk out the door and go to your car, there's just like tons of cameras around, taking pictures of like you don't really have privacy. So like that part to me seems like really like overwhelming. Like
it can be. Yeah. No matter what you do, there's a camera in your face.
Yeah.
You can't just be yourself and take a breath.
Or it's like, oh my goodness, like the person, like the whatever the picture is, like, oh, they looked, too, like they might have gained a little weight, then they lose a little weight. Oh my goodness, they look too skinny.
Yeah, nowadays it's all about catfishing.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called, catfishing? Because is it called catfishing or
they're putting,
no? It's not catfishing.
Catfishing
not
is
catfishing.
when they're trying to date someone.
Right, not catfishing. It's the other word when they're trying to grab your attention for a story. I forgot the name of it. So when you put a fake story of somebody, like you grab a picture and you put your own like label on it.
I don't know what it is.
I forgot. It's a name for it that people do.
You lost me there.
It's a name for it.
Okay.
You ever clicked on an article, you be like, and then you open it up and it's like, that's not what the article is about.
Oh, ad bait or something like that.
Clickbait.
Clickbait.
There you go.
Yeah,
clickbait.
So it's always clickbaiting with celebrities nowadays. You catch them doing something and they add their own little caption to it, and it's like, dude, that's no one even it.
Or like a tragedy, right? Like remember Kobe and everything that happened, like, and good for them for like, for his family, for like, standing up for like what's right. Like we shouldn't, like, it's interesting that people wanted to like take photos of that.
The body,
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go back to the questions you had.
Okay.
What was your answers?
Well, I want to hear Diana's too, and then I want to know if you've thought about this, something you can offer yourself.
I feel like Michelle is interviewing us right now.
I know. Well, I answered you.
I wanted to audition for the show, but I didn't actually I was too shy to ask.
Well, you might. I'm going to be going on a quick little vacay next month, so you can probably sit in for me.
I love asking questions and like hearing what other people have to say.
No, but I think that's a part of our curiosity. You really never stop learning. And I do say this a lot. Everyone's a book, unless you're willing to start the conversation, you're going to, open it and start reading the pages, because everyone has a story to tell. Everyone is so unique.
Absolutely.
What I did over the weekend is completely different from what you did.
How do you know?
Well, you know kidding. What I mean? You already know we get into some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. I'm at home all day, right, Mike?
No.
Did Mike do the same thing as you?
No, he didn't actually.
When?
On Saturday, I was at Dodger Stadium. Sunday, I was in Huntington Beach.
I wasn't invited.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I did tell you. I even announced it.
Hold on. Telling someone and inviting them.
I told you you should go to the. You don't want to go to the Dodger game?
I've been wanting to go. Like, matter of fact, I've been promising Marcia was gonna take her to the game.
You know what? And actually,
was that Mother's Day weekend, right?
That was Saturday. Because of the foundation. You know what was so dope about that? And I will give him like a big shout out, is he took care of all of those kids and families.
Who?
Devontae? No,
his name is the guy in our program.
Why am I blinking out?
Cedric,
yes.
You have a good memory.
Big up to Cedric. Like he had a lot of kids, and some of the kids were were notified of the event through the schools. And when the families would come, or the parents, he would ask the parents, like, would you like to join us? And some of them were like, oh man, I really wish I would have known. Some parents did come. It allowed us as a family to attend this, and they paid for we went on a charter bus They paid for our tickets. They paid for our meals. They bought all the kids, Dodger dogs, fries, drinks. And it was a good time.
I wasn't invited.
Sorry. And my daughter's friend's mom was like, how do you find out about this stuff?
I know.
was like, shit, people tell
I
me.
don't know
and
what he
I
does.
see it. It's a nonprofit organization. They help the youth kind of just stay involved. They did have like young youth kind of like guiding us. And I did chuckle, and I told my husband, I said, do you know that we were following like a 14-year-old kid all around Dodger
Were you
Stadium?
the chaperone?
He was our chaperone. He was our group leader. And then we were asking him like, hey, do we go here and all that? But he was very professional, very respectful. Even on the way there, they were giving us bags of snacks and chips. I told my
I'm
husband,
gonna need
like,
Cedric to sponsor this show.
Well, Cedric actually,
Yeah.
I remember, I believe it was the first or second in person, and he said something along the lines, and he gave me his card, so I do have it, but I'd have to grab it out of my purse. But he said that if anybody needed mental health services, he is able to help provide that for people.
No, he had. I think he said he had 12 vouchers left for if you want to go to a therapy session.
I did see that they're going to have a resource fair coming up. So I think he is like that bridge for the community and all of these programs. So I think that's kind of dope, that now he's able to connect those people with the help that they might need. But I thought it was really neat that he allowed families to join
That's cool.
and participate.
I wish I would have known
So-
about it. I would have went.
And
You
with-
did know. I told you.
May being Mental Health Month, is that why they did it?
Yeah,
Or
and we
is it-
went for the
okay.
mental
Well, it's
health.
mental-
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? We did a Dodger game together for the city of Calabasas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
used to
did do
City
a
of
game.
Calabasas when I
Yeah.
worked there. They always used to have Dodger nights, and so I
Yeah,
would always
that's
bring
right.
you all.
Yeah, we did do Dodger games.
Before I was so
I'm
reluctant.
still waiting for your answers.
My answers,
Yes.
but okay, can we hear Diana's, and can we also hear if you've thought about something you can offer yourself? Because I want that for you.
No, but I told you I couldn't. I don't know how to answer that right now.
Oh, you have to think about it.
And I answered. I said I got to give myself more credit and more grace.
Like I don't even honestly. That question doesn't even make sense to me.
Something,
no, I
it's-
think
you
you-
know what it is. It's in relation to.
What do I offer myself?
I think you got to offer yourself more compliments and credit, because like you were saying, you don't do that for yourself. You're just like, this is something that I do. This isn't something that you just do. Not normal people don't do this. You know what I mean? Like we know a lot of people
You
that.
saying I'm not normal?
No, it's not that we're not normal. It's that we have something going on, and we
Like,
got to give ourselves credit.
I don't. I honestly. I mean, I would have to really sit down and think about that. And I know it should be an easy question, but I don't think, well, what should I do for myself? Like, I don't.
But that's already a red flag, right?
And
That's
I don't
a red
even
flag?
know.
Yeah. That you're not able to see that in yourself.
Well, I
a
think
bad thing?
that
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I think
mean-
it is a bad thing, because we should all be able to see something good in ourselves.
Well, no, I know I can see good things in
yeah,
myself.
because you
I-
even said that for what you appreciate about yourself is your
Yeah, because I'm a learner. I love helping the community. I love helping people. I'm very patient with people. I'm very
We talked about that last week.
compassionate, and I have empathy for people. What?
Why are you looking at me like that?
What are you talking about?
Patience.
Oh, patience.
You're only
Oh,
patience
no,
when
yeah,
you have
when
control.
When I have.
But do you? And I had
Oh my
to.
God,
I had
like-
to look at Cedric and shut up, because he was so patient with that lady,
And you know what?
and I wasn't.
I've been. My patience is being tested this week.
Oh.
I won't talk about it, what it is. But no, and you're right.
You don't
so
want to talk about it?
no.
Okay.
Crickets.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
I just
Do you
hope it's not me.
remember-
I don't think it's
No, not with you. No, somebody else. I mean, but it's a good thing, because actually it goes back to what you were saying, because I can't control the situation, so she's forcing me to have patience with it, and it's eating me up
Yeah.
because I want to control it.
But you can't.
I can't. Yeah,
That's
like,
true
all right.
patience. Yeah. I'm pretty patient up until the point that I don't want to be.
Right.
then I'm like, no, fuck you.
So it's a choice.
Oh, hell yeah. It's a choice all around. I ask myself, do I want to really argue with him right now or argue with my kids? Or do I just want to like make amends and just, help out?
On.
Yeah.
Do you remember the piece about that was discussed in the class, and you probably heard something similar, but about what happens in terms of like generating, like between that they're generation,
Yeah. Energies.
with relationships, but that the person who listens may not like remember much, but the person that walks away, I'm like paraphrasing here, so I could be like not saying it properly, but basically that the person that was able to be like the listener, it's not as great as an impact for them as the person that was talking. So you've probably like helped so many people just by listening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, 100%. I am a great listener, and like how Lewis was saying today, most people, and to be honest with you, most people just want to vent, or they just want someone to listen to them.
Yeah.
And I am a great listener because I will sit there and I will listen, and yeah.
Have you always been that way, or are there things that you did to help yourself develop that way?
So yesterday in class, we was asked to send someone a message. Remember?
Yes.
We had to send someone a text message saying how we appreciate them. Blah
Yes.
blah. Right.
Is that what you guys did?
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's why I got a message.
So.
Okay. I got a message.
Yesterday. So while we was doing that, at first, I had to think about it because I actually did that exercise a year ago. So when Lewis came over towards us, I actually told him, I was like, oh wow, you know what? I haven't seen this friend of mine in 30 years. And I remember him because when I was a kid, I remember sitting in my front, I think I was 12 years old, and I was sitting in front of my house. This is when, and it's actually my sister's friend, and all her friends was hanging out, and I always hung out with my sisters and her friends, so they was all older. And I was the kid that was always in a conversation. I would just jump in the conversation and blah, 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 just loud and just talking, blah, blah, blah. Finally, this guy, he pulled me to the side. He grabbed me. He was like, Mike, come over here, sit next to me. I was like, what? He was like, I want you to sit here and just listen. Don't say nothing. Just listen. He said, because you're always jumping into something and you don't even know what's going on. He was like, come to the outside of it and pay attention and listen. And if you have an opinion or you can jump in and you have knowledge, he said, then go talk. Other than that, just stay back and listen. And just from that conversation, helped me through my whole life.
That's when you were 12.
Yes, I always
How old
remembered
was the person?
that. Oh, he had to be, because he was my sister's age. If I was 12, he had to be like 17 or 18.
Wow, that's profound.
Yeah, but so I saw him last year for the first time in 30 years, and that by him doing that always stuck with me. And I saw him for the first time because he had moved out of state, and I saw him and I thanked him for that. And he said, Mike, the reason why, and there was some other things he told me too, but he's like, the reason why I pulled you to the side, he was like, because they was in gangs, right? Like my sister and her friend, they was all in gangs. He said he did that because he was like, Mike, I knew this life wasn't for you. And I wanted you to understand that there's a bigger world out there for you and you can do so much better than what we're doing. Like he was honest. He was like, you don't want to do this. And so that's why he told me to take a step back, look at the world, and don't just go throw yourself into some chaos and get caught up in what we're doing. So I thanked him 30 years ago. I mean, last year. And I ain't seen him in 30 years. And from that moment, it made me want to go and thank a few other people from my childhood that helped me get out of the neighborhood. And also, so I did that exercise last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you also do it yesterday?
Yeah, actually it did. Yesterday I sent, remember I told you she responded to me?
Oh, yeah.
My AYSO director,
right.
I sent her a message.
Yeah.
I thought I should have got your message, Mike. No, just playing.
Dang.
Well, we still
Thanks,
have
G.
lists of people to send it to. We've just been busy.
Yeah, we've been
No,
I had
it's
class
good.
today.
It felt really good. Yeah, I remember doing that.
But no, just to go back to what you were just saying, there is this quote, and I actually have his presentation right here, because he was using my computer today because his cord, somebody stole his cord last night. But about listening, it's gonna take me a minute to find it. So.
I know. At an earlier stage in my life, I didn't really know how to listen. Mm-hmm. I felt I was more of a talker. I felt like they wanted me to solve their problems. But after that, I learned to be a better listener and just hear people out. Sometimes they were just calling me just to vent or just to be ear, and I always felt that I needed to solve what their problem was, and it would always frustrate me. But sometimes people just want to be listened to, want to be heard.
But I mean, it goes back to what that quote I always say, that when you talk, you speak of what you already know. Mm-hmm. But when you listen, you might learn something.
Yeah.
It's a Buddha quote.
Yeah.
Like, it's very true. People still don't realize that. How the guy taught me, people jump into conversations with their opinions, and because everybody has an opinion, right? But it doesn't mean you have knowledge on the subject. It's just your opinion.
Yeah.
Or they're like thinking about what they're going to say rather than like fully being present and listening to you. But what I've loved the past few days is there has been a few times where it's like, okay, we're going to just have quiet time. Mm-hmm. And I love that. It's so peaceful. And I find that sometimes it's hard to get quiet time, especially when you're when you have a lot of things on your schedule. But even just like sitting in quiet with somebody is okay. Like, I used to think, you have to try to like make conversation. And my fiance thinks it's because I've worked in public service for so long. Cause he's like, you're so good at like talking to people. And I don't really feel that way, but he's like, you make people feel comfortable whenever we're in social situations. But sometimes it's okay to also just like,
I've always felt that about you.
There too.
I think that's why we got along so well. We can always have a great conversation, and you were always fun to be around. I knew it was going to be a good time if you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's why we're sisters.
Yeah, I know.
No, but definitely like so many good times for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is what you was talking about. The quote that he put up, it says, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place.
I do love that quote.
But
it was something else. Yes. Oh. And I don't know if it was a quote or if it was something that was a statistic.
I love that quote.
I love it too. What resonates with you about it?
I feel like you.
He's like, I don't know. I thought it kind of.
No, the biggest single problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place, and it's funny that because when he said that, it made me think back to a conversation that I had with my girl a couple of days ago. And I brought up something, and she was like, didn't we have this conversation already? And it was like, yes and no. Like, we kind of did, but we didn't kind of like really talk about it. So it was the illusion to her that it had already taken place, but we really didn't have a conversation about it. Like, we touched on it, but we didn't really have a proper communication about it.
It didn't feel like
full circle. Yeah. It was like, it was kind of touched on, but
when we did relationship, I actually dove into positive sexuality, like talking about more than intimacy in a relationship, and I did like a whole thing of it, and this one was my favorite one out of all of them. How do we connect on a higher level than just intimacy? It's being a good listener, being able to just be heard and seen with someone, and diving a little bit deeper. Not only that, but as males, giving compliments as a wife to the male. Usually they're more being critiqued or making them feel like they're not, they don't exist kind of deal. Mm-hmm. So it was really deep. I was kind of talking more about like the mental health for men. Even to my husband, I give him so many compliments. I even give him a little pat on his butt and be like, you look sharp.
You all are so adorable.
You know what I mean? Looking like a little snack. But we don't do that for each other. Mm-hmm. We're harder on ourselves you know, than really embracing the beauty that we have for one another. So,
yeah, I think like for me, my experience with my fiance, so you know this, we were in a long distance relationship
for a long time.
Canada and the US for like a very long time. We would see each other like at least twice a month. But that really forces you to connect with a person in like a very different way than like, because you're not seeing them like on the physical level.
How do you, okay, so I need help with that. That's the one I'm struggling with right now.
So what we would do is just like, and like, I'm just so grateful for our journey because now we are together. He's working in the US. Like we're finally like in the same space together, and we have this like really strong foundation. And we've like been to so many like beautiful places in the world. Like, cause we would trade off. Like either I would go visit him or he would come visit me. But then oftentimes it would be, if I go to Canada, okay, we're going to explore a new region, or let's go to a different country, or we'll go to a different state, and we would choose that. But in terms of the days that we weren't like together physically, we talked on the phone so much. We would fall asleep at night together on the phone. We would pray together like before we would go to sleep, and then like leave the phone on until it would just like cut off or hang up. But we would schedule like movie nights and say, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. And then like watch a movie together, but be like on video. I think the biggest challenge was probably whenever there's things where you could bring a significant other with you to somewhere, but you couldn't because like the complications of like when you're working, you only get so much time off, or like it's a quick turnaround trip. So they couldn't come to like a Wednesday night function or something like that. But I don't regret my journey at all. And in fact, I think it was just, you know, I had people that would tell me like, I can't believe you're doing a long distance relationship. It's never going to work, especially in a different country. Like you're being cheated on. And I'm like, I had boyfriends that lived in the same city as me that I didn't trust.
Okay.
I trust him so much because I just know, you know, and just for how everything has transpired between us. And he's just like we have such a strong connection.
Well, no, and that's great. That kind of goes back to that exercise we was doing today when he was asking the question, do people change, you know, about, you know, those other questions he had. And it's all about if you want to. So, yeah, a long-distance relationship can work if both people want it.
Yeah.
And I think, like, because I had so many people that would tell me, you couldn't find someone in the U.S.? I mean, I could see not finding someone in the same city, but not the U.S. And, you know, it just, the way we met was organic. It was through, like, different friend groups. And I had intentionally put out some things that I wanted in somebody. And when we met, like, it just clicked. And I think for both of us, we just felt like that connection was so special that it was worth it. We definitely didn't think it would be as long as it has been. I mean, even our engagement has been dragged out longer than we would like. But I think it almost feels like it was just like meant to be, but it was also, it's just a different journey. And all I could say is that it matters like on the people. And
oh, yeah. It was meant to be.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like a love story. I used to like to hear just
I know everyone would be like, let's hear about what you all are like doing. Like, and I think there were some people that were my supporters, like, what are you doing? And then I think there were those other people that were like, what, she's going to get cheated on.
No.
Like,
How long was it?
Oh, wow.
Years.
Like, so I have known him for like 15 or 16 years.
Oh, no, this is years.
We were really good friends. And I went to visit him one time, and my friends were like, you guys talk all the time, watch. You guys are going to end up being together. I'm like, no, I would never be in a long distance relationship. That word never from our cap, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't use those words.
Because here we are.
Yeah. But it just, you know, it just happened. And he just has like so many like wonderful qualities. And he's such a sweet, I mean, you've met him.
Yeah.
He's so sweet.
But how many years once you guys got together?
So like, I think, so, and it ended up like, it was supposed to happen by 2016 that he was supposed to be here, and it didn't happen until 2020. So it was like 2012 to like 2020.
Like a decade.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, this is years.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did it. I mean, Big Boogie. I mean, that is true love right there, and that is definitely something that was meant to be.
And our families like really get along well, and like he comes from a really nice.
And he's
I'm having a problem right now because I live in Lancaster and my girl live in Palmdale,
Oh really?
and I'm like,
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
come on, Mike.
Can you imagine if you had to go through customs
oh
every
my
time you went
God.
to go?
No,
see
but you
her?
know what? Because like
Yeah.
her schedule is, she works in Valencia, so her schedule is different than mine. Like I'm more free; I can do what I want, right? But hers isn't. And when she gets home, like sometimes she gets home real late, she's tired, and she still have her family to take care of. And we see each other every Friday night. Like she spends the weekend with me all the time. So in a couple hours, she's gonna be at my house, spend the whole weekend together. But my whole problem is like it's not a problem, but I want to see her during the week sometimes. And sometimes we do. Like we'll spend a Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll go out to dinner or something. But like this week, I didn't see her all week, right? And that bothers me. It's like, damn, you only live like 10 minutes away. But, she be like so tired and like exhausted. And I'll be trying to have patience with that. Like, okay, I'm going to have patience.
I think it's just different times too. It's like you said, there's different schedules, but that's when your patience kicks in, and you have to ask yourself, is this person worth, all of these things that I have to do?
Right.
Or if
You
you're
have to be
building a
patient.
ritual, like
Yeah.
that really helped us. Like we would pray like every single night together, no matter what. Like even if someone was so busy, usually we'd talk for like hours before going to sleep. But sometimes like if I had to work till like midnight, and then we had the time difference too, just having some sort of like ritual that even if you don't see each other in person, I really found that helped when we had shared experiences, even if they weren't physical. In person, we were still doing the same thing at the same time.
Well,
sharing an experience at the same time.
Right. I mean, for us, obviously, every morning we always good morning to each other. We say good night to each other. And then when she gets home from work, like after she settles in, eats, take a shower, we check in with each other. I do like that. And that's the check-in. Like we did the check-in thing yesterday, right? Yesterday morning. And I like that.
And you're already winning than some couples that are together all the time, see each other all the time.
And she did express to me, I think last week, she was like, she doesn't want us to get tired of each other so soon. Because we are still fairly new. Like, we've been together like 4 months. Like it's going on it's 4 months now. And so she was like, I don't want us to get tired of each other. But I'm different though. Like I'll never get tired.
Yeah, that sounds like a fear.
A fear?
Yeah,
Fear.
of being alone.
Like
Oh,
we're like
Oh,
if you,
I
if
know.
you're afraid
Hello. Did you not hear me today in class? I didn't say that, but
Yeah.
I don't like, everybody know that. You know that about me. I
know,
don't
but
like being alone.
But that might be a lot for someone else too.
No, I know. And that's where I'm trying to be understanding and have patience.
Well,
I'm learning.
Did she have like negative, or well, actually it's probably too personal, so never mind, I won't ask.
No.
I was going to just say like if she had like negative experiences, like where she spent so much time with someone that they told her something like, oh, we're spending too much time together, so it's not going to work out. You know what I mean?
Not to that, no. But she does have like her small circle, like with her family, like her inner family, like they're really super tight, and it's something that I actually admire. Like if you think your family's type, she's the same way. Like her and her kids and her grandkids, they do everything together. They're super tight, and she rarely lets in. Well, not I'm gonna say rarely. She don't let nobody in. She's let me in. Like I just spent Mother's Day with her and her mom and her own family. So she's finally let me into her family. So I go over, to her family's house a lot. But it's still the fear, and she expressed that it's still the fear of getting hurt and letting someone fully in. So she still has walls up.
Yeah, I don't blame it.
No, and I don't either, because I understand her last relationship. So I get it, and that's why I'm being patient with it. But.
Well, and it sounds like you all are having like very honest and like open communication, which is healthy.
No, we do.
We learned that, right?
It is. Yeah, we do.
What was the song?
What
Do you
song?
remember the song that got played today?
I do not. I'm gonna be
Dang, where
honest
were
with
you?
you. I was there. It wasn't my type of music, so I tuned out on it.
Oh, you did?
I was having a conversation with somebody.
Okay, I'll try to like sum it up real quickly. So in essence, it was basically saying like
It was a
in
folk
marriage
song.
that you start like if you started at the end when it was over, you would actually be like more honest with each other. That's what I got from the song, anyways. And so essentially, like sometimes people are so busy like pretending, you know, that you don't get to like really see. But it sounds like you all are having authentic communication.
Oh no, because I'm a big communicator. Sometimes it's funny because every like so on Friday, like we have our ritual thing that we do every Friday night, right? We meet up and we have a drink and it's kind of like a wind down. Like if she's busy during the week, like I already know she had a rough week this week at work, so I know in a couple hours she's just going to go to our little spot, have a beer, just relax and not think. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what we do. And sometimes I'll kind of like what what's her name in class was saying today, how she'd be trying to tell her husband about what she learned or whatever, and he'd be like, "Whoa, it's too much. Let's
Monique.
go down." Wasn't her name Monique?
Oh,
no, it wasn't Monique. It was
I thought it was.
the tall, skinny girl.
Well, it's okay.
Anyway.
'cause you guys want to,
Right. So, anyways, I'll be doing that to Marcy sometimes. Like I'll be like wanting to like tell her all this stuff and communicate with her. And I remember one time she was just like, "Oh my God, it's too much."
It is.
Like,
It
and no,
can
and
be.
it is. It can be. It's overwhelming sometimes, especially when you just want to relax and unwind, right?
Yeah.
So, but like we are in the class and we're experiencing something, and when we go home, we want to share it with our partner.
Yeah.
So it's just the excitement, but we do have to be mindful. Like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's too much.
Yeah, because I used to do that with my husband, and I was like, although he was like, well, I want to hear all about it,
Right.
kind of deal. But after a while, it was a little bit overwhelming because it's not something that he can relate or knows or understand. But then I would flip it by introducing little like exercising or certain tools where he's like, oh, well, where'd you learn that? Oh, well, we learned that in the program, or I learned that through the class. And he was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And now he can relate.
Right.
That's why he can carry on conversations because I utilize that in my relationship.
Right.
So that's what I tell, people is that I might not be in the workforce, but I can, use them at home. And now he's able to utilize those same tools with his family with his friends.
His family.
I know. Or his colleagues and things like that. So.
That's what I love about the program though, is like that like ripple effect, like how what a beautiful gift to the community. Like I'm so grateful for the opportunity to participate in this, because if we're able to share this with people, then they share it with other people, and then you have less like resistance and walls,
No, I love it too. Yeah. So go ahead. We run out of time. So close us out with your.
All right, and it's funny how you were just talking about this. This comes from Bob Wiley. What about Bob?
What about Bob?
What about Bob? Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps through the office, baby steps out the door. It works. It works. All I have to do is take one little step at a time, and I can do anything.
Well, and that goes back to what we're learning about our tiny little habits, right? Our tiny little habits make the biggest impacts. And I'm learning that. Like I think this relationship that I'm in now is, I'm approaching it differently. Only one because I'm older and I don't want to date no more. Like that shit's exhausting.
Yeah.
It is wild and hard. I don't want to date no more. So I'm approaching this one differently, and I am having open, honest conversations like early on, opposed to holding things in and waiting till it builds up to be something bigger. I'm like nipping things in the bud like real quick. Like, oh, but I'm also learning how Lewis is teaching that, because this is what he taught us today when the other girl was speaking in class. He said, when you go home to your husband, opposed to saying, just start throwing things at him, say, hey, ask for permission. Say, hey, can I tell you what I learned in class today? Or, hey, can I show you this exercise? Yeah. Like, ask for permission first. So I'm going to try that approach.
Yeah, not only that, but I recommend this to every relationship or every person starting a relationship is don't waste time on wanting to build what it is that you want long term. Be playful and see if this is even what you want.
What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So meaning being playful. Don't worry so much about what, like I just don't want to date anymore. I don't want this. And then you invest so much instead of focusing on being playful, be adventurous, get out there, do things. I think that was a big part of our success and our relationship. And we actually are that to this day is we're friends first. We're very adventurous. We spend a lot of our time just having fun, doing experiences instead of like, well, I don't like this about you and this is what I like and this is the way we're going to do it because this is it for me.
Right.
Even to this day, we're still super playful.
I think we are playful. I'm not going to say think. We are playful. I think the only time that I do have my conversations is Fridays. I don't know why that day is. I think it's the first day I seen her all week. So I just be wanting to have it's like check-in. Like how are you feeling? Like, how was your day? Now, and what's on your mind? Like I feel like that is my check-in day. But later on Friday night, Saturday and Sunday when we all together, no, we have fun. We go places we have fun. And it's never I think once I get it out, when I first see her on Friday, then that's it. Yeah. Like the rest of the time it's playful, it's fun. Like we just go off and we just have fun.
Yeah, I just trip out when some people are like, yeah, I don't like this about him. Be like, wow, how long have you guys been dating? Oh, a few months. And I thought to myself, like, shit, wait until it's years.
Yeah, well, I know that.
And then they really let their hair down and be like, there's going to be so much more that you're not going to like. You know what I mean? But how do you pivot around that?
But I mean, I was married twice and both marriages lasted, a long time. So but I love being married. Like my first marriage was 24 years. My second one was 7 years. I love being married. I love having a partner.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Michelle, baby steps.
Yeah, Michelle, baby steps.
What are you going to leave us with?
Yeah, what are you leaving us with?
Just thank you so much. I am super grateful for the program, but really grateful to both of you for the space that you open up for people in the community to be seen and be heard and allowing me to come and share the activities that we have for the community. I want to make sure they do it. And of course, my friend Sean Hill always tells me it's better to light a candle than to curse the dark.
Hey.
Love it.
I love Sean Hill.
Yeah, no, he's amazing.
Big ups to Sean Hill.
Big ups to Sean.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Michelle. We appreciate
Thank
you and
you.
appreciate you and the city of Palmdale, what you guys do. Again, I admire it so much because you guys, I'm going to say it again, you guys do show up and you guys put in the work.
Yeah.
I love that about the city of Palmdale.
Yeah. Shout out to my friend, Miss Nardi Lopez.
Yes.
And my brother, now that he's part of the city.
Yes, I tried to get him to come on here.
Yeah.
He told me he'll just go to the mall and tell everybody what we have going on. He didn't need to come on
hear
here.
him saying that. He's such a bugger. That's my brother for you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I really, tried to get him to come here. But yeah,
I
it's
will.
very neat. I super appreciate it. And we just want everybody to be able to come and enjoy the things that are there for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again. And
Have an
Yeah,
amazing weekend.
All right.
you
Thank you.
guys have an amazing weekend as
Right.
well.
I can't wait to hear the answer to your question.
You're going to ask me that again, aren't you?
There
Yes,
she
I
is.
am.
Well, she might be you might be my sit-in. Are you gonna be my sub when I'm away on vacay?
Well, Mike, I think you need to talk to to Mike first.
I don't even know what day that is. We got to figure out what we're doing.
Where are you going for vacation?
I'm gonna go to Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Everything is bigger in Texas.
What part of Texas?
Dallas.
Oh, are you gonna go where the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh hell no! I hate the Cowboys. You should know better. Oh,
Really?
I'm like, straight up stone.
Wait, why use the word hate? Like,
I
that's just
just-
so
I
strong. Like,
can't-
we just had
I
a great
can't
show.
vibe with 'em.
We just had a great show, all positive, positive emotions and
can't- that's
energy,
that
and then you use the
one
word
team.
hate.
That's just the one team. I
My
can't.
God. The one team.
Well,
team.
no, I take that back too. The Astros. Oh hell no! I told my kids if you ever date anyone that's an Astros fan, they're cheaters.
So how you
don't do it.
How you gonna be hanging out with me and Marcy? Like, she's a Cowboy fan too.
Oh well, I mean, you alright, but the Astro fans, that's a hell no. Yeah, I'm a diehard Dodger fan.
Oh wait, I don't like the
bleed
Astros
blue.
either.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck that.
All right, get out of here, y'all.
All right,
Be well.
Be well.